The BÖIKZMÖIND intro. It started off quite small. It started off as it was going to be a bit of playfulness with a bike and some liquid, because it all the seed of the idea came from when I saw Sam Higley, who's the rider in the intro, mucking about in the water fountains at Bristol, in the centre of Bristol. Just on a hot summer's day, he was just playing around, and it's very kind of shallow water. He was just hopping about doing tricks. And I happened to be filming that day because I took my camera out with me, just getting random shots. And because it was so hot, I had the shutter speed up really high, and that meant when I came back home and looked at the footage, you could really see every kind of splash and detail and globular water kind of fly off his wheels, and it looked really beautiful, looked really, really nice.
Gavin said that he felt that slow motion and nice lighting had been done and overdone so many times. We needed a different kind of take or some kind of gimmick. It was simplified to a kind of optical illusion where we had the letters in white and the background in white, and they'd be revealed by the background changing colour and maybe some splashes. What could we use to change the colour of the background? We wanted it to obviously be in keeping with Gav's design, which is all red and white, and we were looking at things we could use, like red paint would be really hard because we'd only get one go at it, and also it's very thick to clean up and quite expensive. We looked into staining milk and throwing that over it, and that just smelt a bit because we did it in the sunshine. And then I thought of an idea which we could use pig's blood or cow's blood, depending on which butcher we spoke to, but that would probably smell quite a lot as well and potentially be quite gruesome. And then Gav had an idea that he just used food colouring.
We went and hid around the back of a skip in the car park at Urban Animations and made little miniature scale models of the liquid and the blocks and stuff. We always wrote off water in food dye because we thought it's going to be too opaque. It just won't work. But we just thought we'd try it anyway. We just got a jug and put a few squirts of food dye in, and just bang, just bright red and brilliant. It's water just with food dye. You can dispose of that very easily. So these tests that we had out back of the skip kind of really helped inform what we were gonna do. The location of BÖIKZMÖIND was amazing. We were so lucky to get this place, and because we knew we needed like a big environment, preferably indoors, so we could use power and lighting and take our time with things, and to make a big mess. But I had no idea of, well, how the hell are we going to do that, you know? And it just so happened that Ricky went to the BBC for a meeting, and on that train he sat with the head of broadcast at Auburn, Miles Bullough.
Miles mentioned this place called the Bottle Yard, which is this huge warehouse place with like 200,000 million square foot to record in, and they were looking for more projects to be taken on there just to bring up their profile. And he said, talk to our facilities manager and see what he says. So I passed on the message to Gav, and by the afternoon we were offered a little look round.
The Bottle Yard as a location was amazing. All of that derelict space that we had just to play around with and do whatever we wanted. We had complete free reign over that space. It was almost like kid in a candy store kind of thing when we first scouted out all those areas, and you had those huge like gantries everywhere.
We found this one room that had a walkway that was about 70 foot up. It was really, really high, but I think we used one of the shots from going up in the end, so it was worth it. When we first walked around there, yeah, we were all in awe of what we could really do with the space.
We kind of had a 5 metre by 2 metre pool, and then my dad, being a DIY handyman and a previous engineer, is just very good with his hand, and so I kind of rang him up and said, "Hey Dad, could you build us a pool of liquid and a wall that we can put letters on?" Oh yeah, sure.
Sam started hitting the deck in the pool, and at that point there were solid concrete floors, so Sam's bones crunched into the floor each time he fell off.
He slammed so many times that I actually started to feel it when he hit the floor.
Sam rode through the pool, hit the deck, nearly took the wall out, knocked some of the letters off, almost nearly speared himself in the head on one of the nails. Luckily he was okay, managed eventually to pull it off. The final shot with the guttering getting lifted to drop the liquid onto the wall was, I don't think any of us knew quite how to time that, because we had I think 5 or 6 of us behind the board tipping it. Obviously we're all trying to tip at different rates and different times. You know, it's like a classic 3, 2, 1. Are we going on one? Are we going another one after one? We didn't really know. We didn't discuss it. We just kind of got on with it. You know, you've only got one shot at it. Why prepare? And we had 3 cameras kind of going at the same time, because obviously we only had the one take. But I actually don't think it could have gone any better than it had done.
Finishing at whatever time we finished, I think it was about 2 a.m. in the morning, we'd kind of finished shooting, got to say it's a wrap, everyone clapped, everyone was exhausted, and we just knew that we had to kind of wrap up the set, really. But that meant shifting hundreds and hundreds of litres of red liquid somewhere. There was a drainage system outside of the warehouse that we were in, but because stylistically we put the main set smack bang in the centre of this thing, meaning we were furthest from any doorway, and so we thought we could all hold the tarpaulin and drag it out to the edge with all the liquid intact like this. You know, there were 7 of us. We thought surely between 7 of us we can shift it out there and just pour it in the drinks. It was just water. So we all went, okay, right, yeah, let's do it. So we all have a good 2 hands full, and we start dragging it. We must have taken 4 steps, and then someone let go, and then someone else let go, and it just went and we all just stood there, looked at each other, and just knew that we were going to be there for a lot longer. I think quite a few people must have uttered that they hated me at that point. I can't figure out if I made any friends that day or not. I don't think I did.
BÖIKZMÖIND CSI is basically what it looked like at the end of it. Literally looked like a bloodbath. Probably smelt like one as well. If anybody had walked in the next morning, we'd have before us, we'd have got there, and police vans would have been there.
It did get to a point where sometimes you're thinking, God, just kill me. But yeah, overall it was good.
All the work we put in that day to film that intro, I don't think any of us could say that any element of that day was wasted, or any element of that day was not worth the effort that was put in and the time that was put in.
The supermarket scene came about because when we went to see the Bottle Yard film studio, when we were being shown around and we were looking at all the big massive open spaces, Fiona just said, hey, come and check this out. And what it was actually an entire supermarket recreated for Sky, because they had a sitcom series called Trolleyed, and it had filmed the first series, but they weren't sure if a second series was going to go ahead because it hadn't gone out on air yet. So the set was just sitting kind of lifeless, and they and that was that, really. We just, wow, this is amazing. We got to look around this fake supermarket, which was quite surreal. I didn't think any more of it until I think I was discussing the idea with Reg Weeks, who was the music curator on the film from Invader Records, about a trick sequence, because he said, what sequences are you going to have? We were talking about the music and what sort of type of music we would need. And I said, yeah, we're going to have a trick sequence, but kind of want to do something different. I'm not quite sure what yet or where. And he had seen the photos of the supermarket because I'd showed him. He says, why are you doing the supermarket? It'd be amazing. Well, yeah, hadn't really given it any thought, because I thought, well, there's no way that they're going to let us chuck some bikes around and do a trick sequence in this supermarket set. It's an active set. Someone's paid a lot of money for this. I thought I'd give it a shot anyway, and dropped Fiona a line and said, hey, I know you're letting us chuck lots of liquid around in a few weeks. Can we use your supermarket set as well? She says, yeah, absolutely fine. She checked it with the guys at Sky, and they were already happy with it.
There are a few problems with shooting in a space like that. Of course, the lights didn't go on.
The lighting that was in there was actual studio lighting, it wasn't just regular lighting. So that means that you need an electrician present to turn it all on, because it's ridiculous amount of wattage, and it's not wide into the main sort of thing. So we couldn't turn it on because we were just using the space at a weekend, and it was just us lot with cameras and bikes in there. So that meant that we had to shoot at really high ISO values, which meant it was very grainy. And at the first, it was kind of a bit of a worry, and it was a bit panicked of, oh man, what are we going to do? you know, how is this going to look okay? And we did like a test grade when we were there. We shot some footage, put it on the computer, did a quick test grade in After Effects, and it was actually fine. And we found that if we treated it a bit, and kind of, that's why the sequence is like an off green, to kind of make it feel like that kind of quite depressing neon light sort of stuff.
We just thought we'd have a good run around the place, a bit of a wreck, which was kind of dangerous because there's loads of little stones on the floor, and eventually you hit one and you land flat on your face. But we went out into one of the bigger halls, and I was just walking along, and then suddenly this siren goes off, right? At which point Gav packs himself. I can't get done, like literally he just runs off in a random direction, like. And then Al was just round the corner holding this massive woo thing, and which I was aware of the whole time. But it was really funny to watch him wet himself. I don't think I've let him get away with it yet either.
Just kind of having everyone together in this weird, unique space was really cool. Everyone was really excited. We all reverted to being kids, because it was just really quite surreal. You know, you always kind of want, cause it's all super smooth flooring. When you're a kid, you just want to skate around, ride your bike around because it is so smooth. So we all got really, really excited on that.
My main lasting memory from shooting the supermarket scene being Rich's bag helping packer at the end of his tour, because I think he's got real experience in working in retail. The way he played that was amazing, and I spent the whole time trying not to laugh. So yeah, that was a good one.
We were kind of filming something a bit weird. It was fun. It was good. Yeah, it was a good day. The plan for the outro sequence, it was quite simple really. We'd already done grander concept stuff for the intro and the supermarket, and I think probably just for the logistics as well, we knew we probably couldn't do something even bigger like for the outro, but we wanted to keep it quite simple but show the community. And I was chatting to Johnny, and he just suggested, well, why don't we just literally just get the sheer amount, the wealth of people that ride just out on the streets. I think that is strong enough.
One thing that kept coming back when we were going through people's interviews was this idea of kind of camaraderie and friendships being kind of forged, and that kind of led onto an idea of having someone build their bike from all the separate parts, and then they go out for a ride, and gradually as they're going around the city, then all their friends are joining in from side streets and meeting up with them. The goal was to have at the end a massive group of people all riding together, and to really solidify that idea of the bond that sort of people have formed through riding in Bristol. We
kind of loosely tied it together with, we asked everyone in the sequence to wear red or white to kind of give it like a similar colour palette. We've got lots of people involved in filming, roped in lots of different kind of filmers and different kind of methods of transport and stuff. But yeah, it just came about just wanting to show the strength of the scene in Bristol and just how much fun you can have just riding a bike around the city, really. My role in the outro sequence was to be like a little Nazi director being sat in the back of a child's trailer being pulled along by an electric bike.
Just watching him ride around that with a camera and a megaphone, barking orders out the back of a little truck. It was amazing.
I guess my role was trying to direct 4 teams of filmers who were not in the same place, trying to make some sense of 100+ riders riding around the city and trying to capture that on film. Me and Johnny had walkie-talkies, which was pretty cool. So we got to, be children again and pretend like we were kind of like pros going, yeah, you ready for the shot? Over. Yeah, I'm ready. But really, we were just really stoked that we had walkie-talkies. It was flipping ace.
We started off fairly simply with Sam again from the intro, down at the harbour side, and we kind of filmed a few guys spilling in, and we kind of built up the larger group a lot quicker than we maybe originally planned, but I think it worked quite well. And as we got further around the city, we decided to split off the group of riders into 2 separate groups, partly because it would be more manageable, and it also allowed us to get sort of extra shots of Bristol and the amazing kind of surroundings that we have around here by having those separate groups go off. All the way from the harbour side right the way through Clifton and up to the suspension bridge.
I tried to be as organised as possible, and that kind of what really helped was I made a map of Bristol and plotted like start and stop points for each part of the route, so we could all as filmers know we were going to start from here and then we're going to end there and we'll have a rest. We'll make sure everyone's safe, everyone's okay, everyone's filmed everything okay, is there any problems, just to make it a bit more manageable to get around the city.
When we're about to go across the suspension bridge, we get stopped by a load of police cars, which is, I think Gav started getting scared again that he was going to get arrested. But Gav went and asked them what was going on, and they said there's been either an accident or a van's broken down on the bridge, and the bridge is closed right now, but we're about to reopen it. And he explained the situation, we really want to ride across it for our film. And the police said, right, well, there's no one on it right now. Like that. So they just quickly rinsed off and went across it as quickly as they could. And got some good footage. Then they arrested Gavin. He's in prison now.
It was awesome. Just that feeling of we're allowed to do it and it was shut, and we all kind of... It was that urgency, that rush of we've got to do it right now, this second. And the light was fading really fast as well. What
had initially appeared to be a roadblock for us actually worked in our favour, as it allowed us to have complete access to the bridge, which if it had been under any other circumstances, that literally wouldn't have happened.
Just really humbled that people came to kind of help out on the film, and had no idea if anyone would turn up. We just designed up a bunch of flyers to kind of promote that we need people on this date at this time wearing red or white to film something for BÖIKZMÖIND. And I just made this flyer that folded into a spoke card, and I'd stick it in people's spokes as we were in the weeks leading up to the filming it. No idea if anyone would really turn up, really, and we were blessed with amazing weather. It was absolutely roasting. So, I mean, everyone was happy in a white or red t-shirt and stuff.
There was good crew morale. There actually was. Like, everyone wanted to have a good time. And sometimes it got a bit serious because we had to get stuff done because we wanted to go home. But mostly it was really, really fun. And it was nice to feel part of that community.
Was it worth it? Was it? Yes. Without the well, for me, yes. I think so. Other people may say no and say that it was awful. But I think so. I think, like I say, there's no budget, there's no nothing. It's not like you've got producers running around and second unit directors and all this stuff that, you know, make sure things go smoothly.
Unfortunately, after all the hard work for the actual film, I didn't get to go to the premiere because it's just sod's law, isn't it?
To sum up BÖIKZMÖIND in 3 words. Making BÖIKZMÖIND in 3 words. 3 words for making BÖIKZMÖIND.
Blood, sweat, tears.
Bloody good fun.
Making BÖIKZMÖIND in 3 words would be rewarding, humbling, and fun.
Yeah, it was good. Good dramatic end. Bang, BÖIKZMÖIND.